Now we are looking at the actual inheritance when it comes to values,
Yes, sir.
without not leaving the inheritance, the physical inheritance.
Exactly.
What would you say using Nigeria as a case study today? Let's group it into families: the rich,
Okay.
the average, and the very poor.
Exactly.
So I want us to draw a line now from the very poor to the very rich. What do you think the very poor needs as a core value to get to be very rich?
Okay. One of the values I believe that the very poor needs to give to their children, apart from um, culture, maybe responsibility, how to be well behaved. Yeah. One of the values those people need to give to their children is, let me give you a scenario. Like in yesteryears or years before the whites came and before education, the parents who knew they were poor and they want their children to be great, they took their children to school. They didn't mind the cost. One way, and they used to sing this song, Batariadu ko ka, Batariadu ko ka, tí o bá kàwé rẹ̀. Batariadu ko ka. A good example of this is Benjamin Carson, Dr. Ben Carson, the US neurosurgeon. He came from a poor background, raised by a single mother who was hopping from one work to the other just to make ends meet. But despite the busy schedule of the mother saw, because she was working, because of her diligence, she happened to work with people who are great. And she said anytime she went to their house, she got to their house and assist them with work, she found out that they have television in their houses, but they don't watch it. Rather, they focus on the book, they read their books and the rest. And so she picked the value from it. And when she got home, she found out that the children, all what the children always do is to always watch films and rest. And she said, because of that, no, I discovered that one of the things that make this great man great is they pay less attention to films, they pay more attention to value, intelligence. So what did she do? She inculcated that in the children. And she forced the children to make sure they read at least a book, is it a book or two books in a week, and make a summary thereof. It was from there that Ben Cassie began to pick up. And also, one of the things in which parents who are not that rich can do for their children is enlightenment. Study, you might not be given the privilege, or might not have the privilege of background to be raised to be great. Some have that challenge of background. Yeah, there are many people who are artisans. When you check them, you see that these people are intelligent.
Sure.
They have greatness in them, but what they lack is maybe a push, a sponsor. So so one of the things these parents can do is try as much as possible to push their children to great heights. Apart from that, bring them close to greatness. There are places they can take them to. At least let me say the secretariat for here in Nigeria, secretariat are great places. Parents can take their children to secretariat and say, look at this place, look at the governor, or look at this the office of the governor. I also want you to be great like this. And then begin to, probably the things they've read, the things they've known, begin to instill those things in those children. And Yoruba used to say something, "Wani ko yi ku ko ku ko ma ko ni kan mọ́ ni." At least we have someone who is great. One of the things they can do, they can attach those children to those great people and say, please, I want you to train these children for me. One another thing they can do is, okay, maybe in the holidays, they can ask the children to intern with some of these great people to learn the values that make them great. By that, those things will be inculcated in those children, especially when when the parents tell those children, I want you to be great. Those are the things that these people did to be great. And when they begin to do those things, those children will learn those things and move on with it. I was giving an example of Benkasi's mother. She would come to the home and say, I want you also to be great. I've seen the greats, I've seen the things they do. You also begin to apply those things now. So whether the children like it or not, they begin to inculcate those values in themselves. And whether we like it or not, when you talk about medicine and neurosurgery in the world today, you never mention the name of Benkasi. So I believe that's one of the things the parents can do.
Okay.
The parents of the poor can do for their children. Apart from morality, they can do that for their children. For the middle-aged parents, um because of the mental, I sang a song the other time, but Ariado Koko Katoba Kawere. I believe parents nowadays need to understand that there is a paradigm shift from civil service mentality or employment mentality to entrepreneurship. Parents should begin to pattern or train their children not to be employees, but to be employers of labor. And from home, we always say charity what? People use
Begins
them,
at
people
home.
charity begins at home. Parents need to begin to teach them and train them on the values of entrepreneurship. How can you have your business? How can you sustain your business? Immediately you are done with school, don't begin to think of how to get jobs. Begin to think how to create jobs. When they are doing that, the children, when they get to school, they will know that I'm not only here to seek job, I'm here to create job. And sincerely, the great among the great are not employees.
True, very true.
They're employers of labor. So when these middle-aged parents bring up that mentality and begin to inculcate that training in their children, yes, parenthood should not be my children should be as I am. No. What parents should dream and envisage is my children, and the vision of parents should be my children should be greater than myself. My children should be greater than who I am. They should be better than where I am presently.
By also knowing
Yes.
what they lacked.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you must know your deficiency that you will use
To
as
train.
an efficiency for the life of your children.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm a civil servant. I'm limited because if I have done this, I would have been better. I want you to do this, so that you can be better than I am.
Exactly. Thanks for that. You are able to summarize it in a nutshell. What made you you, and what are the mistakes you made? Teach your children to avoid that mistake. They will go far.
Wow, that's nice. What about the rich?
Rich are already made, and so they've arrived.
What is sustainability?
But the challenge with most rich people is they don't want the children to pass through the pain they've passed through. Whether we like it or not, the pain they passed through is what made them who they are. Maybe not the pain, but the experience from the pain. Yeah, let me use that word. So, what should a parent, the rich, do while they remove the pain from the children? The experience that made them who they are from the pain, they should try as much as possible to inculcate it in their children.